Lucy from Get Your Rock Out here with a couple of lovely guys from Forearm. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Brilliant. We're at Hammerfest, obviously. Have you had the chance to see any bands play yet?
Ooh, 5 minutes if that.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there going to be anyone that you're really looking forward to catching later?
Structure.
Brilliant.
Good old
Hate breed as well.
Yeah. Their new album is amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be good to see that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You're going to be playing it tomorrow. Are you really nervous about it, or are you feeling chilled and happy and relaxed?
At the moment, chilled and relaxed. You know what I mean? It's tomorrow. So the nerves will kick in, of course, and that's always how it rolls. But once we get in there, we'll do our thing.
Fantastic. It's a fantastic kind of venue to play. It's a fantastic festival. When it comes to kind of festivals or the touring side of stuff, do you have a preference?
For which festivals?
For either festivals or touring.
Not really.
No.
To be honest, the festival atmosphere is always a lot of fun. You know what I mean? There's always sort of a lot of friends that you bump into that you don't always see and things like that.
I like the whole not knowing. You go to a new festival, how things are run. It's sort of different. When you're on tour and you do things, it's like getting into a routine. I'm more for the spontaneous stuff.
Fantastic. And so for people that haven't heard much of you, tell us all about you and why you should check that out.
Right, we're pretty much a thrash band. We formed in 2004. Same lineup since then, so we've been still strong. I describe it as high intensity thrash music, pretty much derived from our influences from the Bay Area. They're not technically the Bay Area, but
and you've just come off tour with Testament. What was that like?
Ridiculous. Everything that you'd hoped it would have been, it was.
Good. And so it was a case of meeting your idols and they lived up to it.
Oh, more than lived up to it.
Brilliant.
Testament were really just cool to be around. They were very accommodating, very hospitable, very just sort of. We got along with them really well, and sort of still keep in contact with them.
We toured with them
sort of things.
2010. We toured in Australia. So we got that whole idol thing out of the way. So when we came on tour with them, it's a bit more relaxed and all that. It wasn't so nervous as such. Of course, yeah.
No, it's a definite highlight of anything that we've done. Like even personal sort of achievement sort of thing, to get to tour with them was just really cool.
I mean, the Australian metal scene, so many bands say it's absolutely impossible to break into. I mean, what's it like from you guys coming from there and seeing the insides and outs?
The reason why I think it's impossible to break into is because of population. We don't have the population that most of the other countries in the world have. It's a big landmass, and Australia's a big country, but it's very minutely populated through the cities, you know what I mean? And there's only really sort of 3 cities in Australia that you can tour, you know what I mean?
It's also it's not marketed quite well. Like, I mean, Europe, it's out there and everywhere. You can probably get it on TV and see metal.
Australia, they want to keep it where it is, and they want it tucked away, and and all that sort of thing.
So for the bands that get out there, we have respect for the Australian bands that actually go out there.
Because it's like international bands want to try and break into the market, but all the Australian bands are trying to get the hell out. Because there's nothing there. Unless you're Metallica and you're going to sell 25,000 tickets 5 nights in a row in each city, you know what I mean? It's really just one of those places where the bands that are serious are trying to get out and try and do other things, you know what I mean? But and obviously every other band's trying to get in there and crack the market and all that sort of thing.
There isn't exactly a market to crack.
I wouldn't, not like there is in America, not like there is in Europe, you know what I mean? It's very small, yeah.
So do you do much playing over there, or do you try and just play everywhere else that you can?
We try and get out of Australia as often as we can, just sort of as being a touring band and being a business and all those sort of things, you know what I mean? We try and get on the road as much as we can. As far as how much we play in Australia, like I said, it's small. There's only really sort of 3 major cities that you can kind of do.
So
and
once you do it,
you don't
can't do it again.
Try and do it again the next week, you know what I mean? We sort of try and get it done twice a year sort of thing and that sort of thing. But it depends on what we're being booked for, obviously, and that sort of stuff. But
So you've done extensive touring, both on your own with bigger bands. What country do you find is most receptive to the thrash side of things?
The US so far.
So far, I'd say the US. Hammerfest, but I mean, we did Download last year. It was extremely receptive there, so it's, you know, at this moment they're our examples. You know what I mean? It's sort of like London has been really good to us, and Northern America was exceptional to us, and all that sort of thing. So it seems to be going down fairly well wherever we go. So. Yeah.
And you've also just had a new album out, so tell us all of what there is to know about that.
It's actually been out for how long, Dan? A year?
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
That's quite terrifying.
Yeah. So the pressure's on. Everyone's asking us when's the next album coming out. So
it is in the pipe works. You know, I mean, we have got a lot of writing done, and the album's kind of in the final stages of everything. We're just going through all the nitpicking little bits and pieces now and all that sort of stuff. So
it's kind of hard at the moment because we're getting asked to do these tours and festivals, so we're trying to write in between the time, and it's kind of hectic, but it's the only way we can do it for now. At least if we can get like 2 months, like we go back home, we'll do 2 months off, so we can just try and work on the album there and so forth. Yeah.
So I mean, do you have a vague release date, or are you just not even thinking that far ahead yet?
we were hoping for November, but given how much touring we've got, we'll be back in Europe in November, and we're back in Europe during sort of May through to August. And so given the schedules that we've got at the moment, we don't think it'll happen in November. It looks like it'll more likely be February 2014. So yeah.
February is kind of a good time to release an album in Australia. You got the Soundwave Festival, so I'd go do that.
Brilliant.
Release the album and then tour off that.
Fantastic. So the next kind of 6 months, where can people catch you if they want to see you?
Across Europe,
Everywhere.
yeah.
Europe,
Festivals in
well,
Europe.
most places throughout Europe, most mainland Europe, and sort of Scandinavia and all that. We've got a couple of shows in Russia that we're doing. There's Estonia, Croatia, Slovenia, Germany, Sweden, Ibiza.
Yeah, Ibiza. That spun me out totally. We're doing a show in Ibiza. It's like I wouldn't
Not
have
what
thought
you
that's
expected.
no, I wouldn't have thought that. Like I'm thinking, do I bring my glow stick to the show?
I think definitely do it.
What do I do? So that's
cool because we get to see sort of a lot of countries that I've never been to. You know what I mean? Which is really cool, and you can start ticking things off your list. You know, your wish list before you die and all those sorts of things. You know, but we're sort of a bit of everywhere. And then back in November we'll be sort of a bit more extensive and a lot more dates and all that sort of thing. So yeah.
And if people want to find out more about you, where should they go?
Oh, you can go
Get
online.
online.
Yeah, we have a website, www.forum.net. And there's obviously Facebook and all that. You can branch out and find us
Facebook,
there.
Twitter, and all that sort of stuff. So that's all the usual social media
Gay porn. You'll find him on some gay porn websites as well.
Right, so we'll look out for that too.
Yeah.
That sideline, just to pay the bills.
He stars in a few European, German gay porn stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes the gerbils and things like that.
What a lovely image I needed.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wondered how long it would be before bestiality was mentioned, and
Well, there you go.
we've managed it. So
Try to hold out as long as possible.
He loves it, but it always comes out. So it makes me sick, really. But
I can
what can
imagine
you
I
do?
feel sorry for you having to put up with it.
It's bad.
We all have our little dirty secrets.
Yeah. We usually try and keep him in the closet in the hotel rooms because we don't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Quite a few rodents lurking in hotel room closets, though, so you've got to be careful.
That's
Yes, sleeping with the
So you
rodents.
can come out when
Done
we're
that
coming.
before.
When we're leaving. Otherwise, stay in.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat to us
you.
today. Absolutely.
You smuggled that booze in here.
Somebody brought it to me. It was a thank you for an interview, and they were like, "You're going to have to hide it." Yeah. Yeah, I've had cupcakes, I've had booze.
Because
it's good.
every interview is just like opens
not
the
allowed
jacket,
alcohol in.
and goes, "Have a look at this."
Yeah. I think as long as you're not rolling around the floor blind
They're
drunk,
happy with
they're pretty much all right with it. Yeah. I don't think they think I'm going to cause too much trouble off one bottle of real ale. But then again, they don't know how much of a
You might be
lightweight I
cheap
am.
date. You
I
might
am
be
a
cheap
really
date.
cheap date actually. Genuinely, I had like 1 pint of Strongbow Magnus last night, and I was feeling it. I was like, "Oh, this is pathetic."
You and
kind of like
you and our guitarist, you get to knock a house on fire.
We call him Johnny Two Swigs because he can only handle 2 sips
Yeah.
before it's all over. So yeah.
That sounds far too much like me, actually, sadly. So, yeah, it's going to be a good night tonight.
Yeah. So you're getting out to watch a few bands.
I hope so. I think I'm finishing interviewing at like 8:30, and so I'll catch some. Role reversal here. But brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see each other at some point in this place. It would be quite hard to miss each other, seeing as it's not the biggest of places. The stages are very together. So, brilliant. Have a fantastic night, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.